So there's this triangle created by car enthusiasts that basically states you can't have performance, practicality, and a low price all in one car. You always have to sacrifice one. But swap out performance with fun, and I'd argue the manual transmission Mazda CX-5 hits all 3 points of the triangle. And I'm gonna show you why. Being an SUV, this Mazda CX-5 is plenty practical and all 5 seats are adequate for an adult. This is expected. But what's not necessarily expected is that this particular car has gone over 240,000 miles without giving any major issues to me or the previous owner. And yes, this is my car. Add in respectable fuel economy for this type of vehicle and totally adequate comfort for daily use, and you get a car that satisfies the practicality needs for the majority of people. These early Mazda CX-5s can easily be had for under 10 grand these days. So that covers the price point to the triangle and leaves us with just one more point: performance. Now I'll admit it, this car is quite slow. You'll find yourself downshifting often just to keep up with traffic on that steep hill. But swap out performance with the level of fun you're having, and being an SUV, this car excels for what it is. Combine engaging, predictable steering, an incredibly precise shifter that practically shifts itself, and suspension that will keep you from leaning too much in the bends, and you get a pretty connected experience. Definitely more so than 99% of other SUVs. So now to further explain this triangle and how it works, I am going to give you some examples of other cars and how they may fit into it. So first, the Toyota Prius. The Toyota Prius is undeniably very practical, with great miles per gallon, great reliability, and pretty good storage space. They also don't cost a lot. You can get a second or third generation Prius for under $6,000. But they're not exactly as fun as some other cars out there. So, put it right around here. And now the Mazda Miata. The Mazda Miata undeniably is way more fun and has more performance than the Toyota Prius. So that's great. It also doesn't cost a whole lot. They cost a little bit more than the Prius, but still pretty low for a sports car. But they're not exactly the most practical. Sure, they get good miles per gallon and pretty good reliability, but there's little to no storage space. So that ends up down here. And finally, my car, the Mazda CX-5. They're pretty fun. You can get one for under $10,000, and it's quite practical given that it's an SUV. So I think it deserves to go right here in the middle. Now sure, this isn't a Miata, but is a Miata practical? It's also not a Prius, but is a Prius fun? I think you get the point. And you know what? I challenge you to find another car for under 10 grand that checks all the boxes for practicality, has a manual transmission, and puts a smile on your face. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got some smiling to do.